Hey, it's Jabbo. Channel's BrickTsar. I love Lego. I love showing you this on YouTube. You could call me the Parker Square of Lego YouTubers. I'm not quite right, but at least I try. And we're going to be looking today at another YouTuber. It is Brick Bakery. And pleased to be doing this interview with Jacob. So let's introduce you to Jacob from Brick Bakery.
Hey BrickTsar, thank you for having me here on your channel. I have been looking very much forward to this little interview because I really enjoy your channel and I'm very impressed by the size of your collection. The fact that you can produce a video almost every day about something new in Lego is just awesome. I really enjoy your channel and I enjoy all the stuff that you do. So thank you for having me here and I'm really looking forward to all of your questions.
So thank you, Jacob. And everybody, please go check out his channel, subscribe. He does a lot of interviews with question and answers like this. I think it's a really great series that he does over on his channel. So we'll get right to the series of questions that I have for Jacob. And the first is, what do you think of the new Trafalgar Square architecture set? Of course, that's the landmark over there in the UK. I was thinking, actually, I really just want to know how to pronounce it because I think I'm pronouncing it wrong. I have actually been there and I have seen other landmarks in the UK, but I'm curious as someone that lives over there, what would you like to see Lego make as far as other landmarks, perhaps some that haven't been done before, whether it be in the architecture theme or otherwise?
That's actually a pretty interesting question, and I think that this particular architecture set is very, very beautiful. I've actually been to Trafalgar Square a couple of times in my life, and I think it's a wonderful space, and this one seems actually to capture it pretty well. They have done a Lego skyline set, an architecture set of the London skyline, which included the I believe it was London Eye and the Big Ben Clock Tower and Tower Bridge and Trafalgar Square again. If I were to suggest something else, I might say St. Paul's Cathedral, maybe the Tower of London, which is not the Tower Bridge but the prison castle that lies beside it, and if not those, who knows, Buckingham Palace maybe. But in the short of it, the long and short of it is that I like the that architecture set, and even though I'm not normally into not minifigure scale stuff, I might consider getting this one.
I'm with you on that about the minifigure scale. I do tend to prefer that over the architecture, although I do think a lot of the architecture sets are pretty neat. And as far as Tower Bridge and, wait, I think you said Tower of London. Tower Bridge and London Bridge. I get those all confused. I think I've seen two of those. One of them I don't even think is in the UK anymore, but I could be wrong. But there's a lot of nice architectural landmarks in the UK, and it'd be cool to see some of those being minifigure scale. I'd like to see the train station. So my second question then is, do you ever have dreams that you have found some rare or an unusual or never before seen Lego set? I know I have.
That is a great question. I believe most Lego collectors may wish for that one forgotten set that you find at the back of a store. I remember an experience as a kid when one of my playmates had actually found a Lego set none of us had ever heard of, and we were just in awe of this thing. How did this thing even happen? Why did he find it? How did he find it? And he said it was just in the toy shop, just one of the shelves, and he took it with him home. I believe it was one of those houses that was pretty popular in the 90s, beginning of the 90s. Not particularly sure about which one it was, but it was pretty cool. So that sense of discovery and amazement of something that wasn't known before to us, that's pretty cool, and I would like to find something like that again. Now, I've been out of the loop for Lego. I haven't really kept an eye on Lego sets for, I think, 15, maybe 20 years. So there's a lot of sets out there that's news to me, and everything before, let's say, 1986, 87 is also unknown to me to some extent. So for me, there's probably a lot of opportunities to get out there and find something, but finding something that is truly rare, I don't know, you know, a forgotten a Forgotten City set, or who knows, just something very rare, and that would be cool. Of course, yeah, and I think most people would fantasize about that, and I think I have been very lucky to find stuff once in a while at a thrift store, and sometimes I've actually managed to find something that was, if not rare, then at least something I wouldn't normally be able to find just like that. So that's cool, and I have dreamt of, or at least fantasized about, doing that again. So yeah, so that is that is definitely something I have been thinking about. Yeah.
Very interesting, and I'm glad you're back into the Lego hobby now, and you're going to have a lot of those surprises or discoveries. It's nice to have those discoveries. Anytime I find something old that I didn't know about, I'm just super, super, super excited. In fact, we've been working on doing that mare ship that I found at a thrift store. So again, what you mentioned about finding stuff at a thrift store, that can really apply for any generation. So I hope you find some really cool things in your searches. And I've actually had the dreams where it's a literal dream where I've created a Kmart or something in my dream, and it's in the woods, and I found stuff that never existed. But that's why I'm the Parker Square of Lego YouTubers. So the next question is related to something I've noticed with your channel. You have excellent thumbnails, for instance. You have a different color scheme or theme for each of the different series. Very smart strategy. You have good video quality and audio quality in your videos. Is this something that just comes naturally? Or are you like me, you're just learning as you go along, you discover things that perhaps you didn't do right, and you just do better the next time? Is this photography and filmography, is that something that just came naturally for you?
There's definitely a couple of things that I have learned when I started out filming Lego. The first thing I think I learned was filming something up close. In my first videos, I filmed everything in sort of a full person perspective, so you could see all of me all the time. And the whole building process was very far away from the camera. The whole focus on the Lego was very far away from the camera. So relatively quickly I learned that I needed to focus in on this, and the review part of a set isn't very interesting when you just see my face. You have to see the Lego thing. So that's something I learned, and I also learned something about lighting. Lighting is very important when you do video and when you do photography in general. You really need good lighting. So I relatively quickly bought a couple of light bulbs for some lamps I had, so I could actually light up everything pretty good, and that really helped my photography along. And then further down the road, I started to sort of focus on how to place the camera and maybe get things up close, and maybe, you know, maybe cropping the photo a little bit is some of my later shenanigans with how I managed to edit my videos. Just crop everything so it's more in focus all the time, rather than having a big space above your head or something like that. And one particular thing is when I film catalogs, Lego catalogs. I've discovered how immensely hard it is to film those, because those pages are made of I don't know if you call that gilded or glittered paper that has a very shiny surface. So that means when you just put light on it, it reflects in the camera, and all you get is just this big white space on the lens, and you can't see everything. So there's really a lot to be done with indirect lighting when you're doing stuff like that, and that's actually been something I've had to learn, and something I'm still not very good at. It is such a difficult task, for me at least, to figure that one out for real. So yeah, I've learned a lot about photography and lighting. So yeah, that's really something I've learned from taking up this YouTube hobby.
Very good. And we're always learning. We are constantly learning as we do this. I still make tons of mistakes. And, you know, as far as focusing in, that is very important. But there's it's just amazing. Sometimes people, they never focus in and it still works for them. Like Helderstein, it's always one camera angle and it works. But I like what you do over there on your channel. So my next question involves the recent controversy around some of the promotional items that I've talked about here, like with the Darth Vader bust and some of the Lego Movie exclusives. How do you feel about these exclusives and these promotional items? Now, I know there's some like that are available in exclusive areas, like only in the UK, like the Leicester minifigure, and there are some others. What are some of your favorite promotional items, and what do you think about these promotional items that Lego has made?
I'm really not sure about that one because I haven't been back in Lego for too long, and I haven't really gotten to appreciate these promotional sets or seasonal sets, something that arrives only once in a while, the freebies and such. It's not something I've really started appreciating, and I haven't really managed to get any of the freebies yet, and I don't really understand why that is, because I have been at Lego stores in periods where they had freebies, and I have bought a sufficient amount of stuff to actually qualify, but so for some reason they've always been sold out, so that was pretty unlucky. But I think some of the promotional items I do like is stuff like these specialized minifigures. I really like those because they can add so much to your Lego builds, and they are great as small collector's items as well. This particular one is a Hamley's Royal Guard, a British soldier, which is pretty cool, and I do like those. I do like these. So I think the promotional items I do like best is specialized minifigures. There's been some for Easter, for instance, a small Easter bunny guy, and a banana surfer dude also. So there's been some of those, and yeah, I think that's the ones I like the most, or at least that's the ones I really know. So I think that's maybe why I do like those the most.
Wow, I'm really disappointed for you. I hate that that's happened where you've actually bought enough to get the free item, but they be sold out. You do have to get there early on some of these promotional items, whether it be in the first few days of the promotion. Sometimes it's only in a single day. But I'm glad you got some that you like that Hamley's figure. There are others that are available continually that you can get, but you have to go to certain places to get them. But I agree with that. The minifigures that you can get as a promotion, and it's really great when you can get them when they're in stock and they're free or free with purchase. I think that's pretty cool. It's really interesting, a lot of the different free items that Lego has done over the years. So you recently did a video looking through an old Lego catalog from 2007, and it's really neat seeing somebody else's reaction to some of these things, especially when it's things you haven't seen before. My question to you is, like, either you looking through a catalog or perhaps you're watching somebody else on YouTube talk about some things that you didn't know about or hadn't seen before. Does that make you go, ooh, I really liked what I saw here. I'm going to go see if I can find that on Bricklink or eBay. And then you find yourself like, oh no, now there's all these other things I want. Is that a challenge? I know it can affect your wallet when you sometimes start seeing other things out there that you want to add to your collection. What do you think?
That is sort of the core question of collecting, isn't it? Do you want to collect something from yesteryear, go back in time, so to speak, and collect something from back then? I do get inspired when I flip through a catalog from the 90s and see stuff that I don't have. I am inspired to get it. I am inspired to you know, I want to complete some of the themes that I have started, so to speak. I have a few sets from different themes, and maybe I want to complete that theme. However, I am aware of how expensive secondhand Lego can be, especially some of the sets that I would love to get. For instance, the Eldorado Fortress, or some of the large Aquazone sets from the early to middle of the 90s is just that sets I'd love to get, but they are very, very pricey, especially if you want something that is in a good condition, and if you want it in mint condition, it is just unbelievable. So the answer is yes, I am inspired to get such sets, but on the other hand, I'm not sure I'm willing to pay the price right now. Maybe in the future, who knows?
That is a very balanced answer, and it's something we all do well to imitate. Our eyes can get bigger than our wallets a lot of times. But patience is very important. And I'm sure if you're patient, you'll eventually find that El Dorado fortress that you want. There's one sitting somewhere in a thrift store, or somebody's going to donate it to a charity, or you never know where these things might show up. I used to have that set. I don't know where it happened to. But yeah, patience is very important to have when you're collecting Lego, just to not jump on sometimes the high price things. If you wait, sometimes you can get those good deals. And again, I hope you continue to find some wanted list items, good deals, and continue building your collection. Now, I want to thank you for your answers to these questions.
Thank you, BrickTsar, for having me here on your channel. It's been great to participate in this little interview, and I really enjoyed your questions. There was some questions in here I've never ever been asked before, and that was really, really cool. Thank you for that. That was really exciting. And I wish you and your channel all the best, and I'm always looking forward to your next video.
You are certainly welcome, and if you haven't already, to the viewers out there, go ahead and subscribe to Brick Bakery. Excellent channel. You won't be disappointed. I love the interview series that he does over there on his channel, and the jokes are half-baked. He's better at this than I am. So anyway, thanks again, and be sure to subscribe to Brick Bakery, and you can subscribe to BrickTsar. I'm Jabbo. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.